Hello everybody, how you doing? This is my 2008 Yamaha V-Star 650 Custom with aftermarket mods. Just something I want to touch upon. If you haven't noticed, walking around the bike lately, there's a mod that I haven't talked about yet. There it is. That is a volt gauge. I had this volt gauge in my 1991 Honda Accord. In the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, had that gauge in the car on the dash, along with a vacuum gauge and all that fancy stuff. I think it looks nice. Basically, was reading somewhere where sometimes something happens with these bikes, or any bike. Sometimes you're on the side of the road, you don't know what you got. It stopped running, it stalled, what have you. So I was reading up on if you wire the voltmeter into the ignition and you turn the key and you have voltage, that's a tongue twister. Theoretically, you should read the voltage of the battery. So let's get in there and turn the key. So 12 volt battery connected to ignition means we have juice coming out of the battery. So you go to start the bike, hit the switch, you press it and you got nothing, and you have yourself a problem after the battery, in a perfect world. But I just wanted to touch upon something because I've noticed, poking and prodding and trial and error, basically just got myself a volt cover. There's a rubber grommet on the back. It runs up through the middle. Had to take the tank off. Wiring harness. And it goes right behind the battery cover. So I undid the bolt of the battery cover, so we should just be able to nicely rip this thing off, just like everyone else does on YouTube. Let's get my finger in there. Underneath here, whatever. Let's start from over here. There you go. Alright, there's the fancy stuff. So basically on these bikes, your neutral or negative terminal and your positive terminal. Obviously you don't go straight to positive because then the voltmeter's on all the time, and then you could slowly drain your battery, especially in the winter. So the quick version is just simple, plain Jane. This is the way I did it. So it helps everybody out there, prevents them from poking and prodding. This wire, this lower harness, is a black wire. It's coiled up, and it goes right behind this plastic thing, and it's actually bolted to the negative terminal. So this is the negative terminal, and it goes up and around and disappears in the bike. That's the negative terminal for the bike. I took one of these blue connectors. I'm not going to kind of get in there. One of those blue crimp connectors crimps down on the original wire, and then your wire. I came out with reds, but I already know that this is black. This is just what I had to get it done. What I do want to touch upon is the switch 12 volts. This is the ignition wiring harness. When you hear that clicking when you first turn the key on, the thick red, as you can see, is a constant 12 volts going to the starter. Then there's a blue, and there's a red with a white line. Never connect to the blue. I connected it to the blue last night. I turned the key. I started the bike. It ran very rough. It ran very weird. It made all sorts of noises. I didn't know what it was doing. I pressed the red button off. The bike did not shut off, and then the starter started turning over the bike. I don't know. Whatever it is, never connect anything to this blue wire. Underneath it, there's a red wire. That is the switch 12 volts going to the starter. Some people might say, don't touch the starter, well, why'd you tap into it? Anyway, I came off of it, I retaped it, I made it nice, it comes up, and I just wire nut it real quick, put tape around it, that's it. Negative, switch positive. On the voltmeter itself, there's a back illuminating light bulb. I just connected the black wire to the ground terminal and the white wire to the positive terminal. I have a PDF, an instruction book. It says the black goes to ground and the white goes to thing. I could have wired that separate, but then I would have another wire coming down. And it's not gonna hurt it. So turn the key on, and that's it. Let's do this. See how it works. I'll show you how it works here. That's a fail. Okay. That's a good fail. Alright, fail fixed. Basically, I don't like those blue connectors. You could see it in there. Those blue crimp connectors. You snap them down, I put a wire tie around them, and I shake the negative terminal. See? I shake the connector. This is what I get. Goes on and off. It's not. I gotta make it more tight or something. But I have other projects to do, so it's in the brown, the blue harness, so it's not gonna like break or short. Just one day I'll look down, the gauge won't work. But anyway, let's start the bike. And what you're gonna get is you're gonna read the bike. The needle should move with the bike, and as you rev it, it should go higher. Holds around 14. And shut it. Read slowly goes down and reads true 12 volts from the battery. Brand new battery put in this May. Key shuts off the light and everything, and nothing drains the battery. So there you have it. There's a standard automobile voltmeter connected to my Yamaha V-Star. Thanks for watching.